Alright, so issue 56 is a little interesting, but first let's go through some of these background details here. Here's the Skytop Station Battlesphere. This has got to be something from out of the Clone Wars because I completely do not recognize it. A big ugly Aqualish looking guy, or Aqualish, I don't know how the hell you pronounce it. La-di-da, Clone Wars things, some crazy looking chick with a big wide head. La-di-da. And here's transportation information. That rhymed. Some details here. And hey, this picture, I looked at this before. This comes out of NASA. Interesting. Anyway, so here's the deal with issue 56. These are all the parts that come with it, but actually I'm not tasked with using them this time around. This time around, I'm supposed to be digging up all of these pieces, the vector thrust plates and so on and so forth, which go on to the top and bottom of the ship here. However, as you can see from the picture down below, if I want to paint it to make it look nice, I need to leave all these pieces off because I've got to paint the hull first, get that detail on there, then paint the individual vector plates, and then glue them on, along with many of these other details. So I'm kind of taking a half chance, half serious thought about painting this thing. I hope I'm going to end up doing it right, but I'm only going to glue on just a few pieces like most of these bits here. Again, I'm not going to put on because I want to paint them first and then stick them onto the painted model so that way the paint effects are not ruined. So this is one of those points that could really test my resolve and the final quality of the finished product, but I'm going to do what I think is best. And of course, I can continue to blame my own lack of Japanese understanding because if I could read these fucking things, it might provide me a little more insight into how to do this properly. But as it stands, I gotta kind of wing it. So, anyway, let me get on with it. Alright, so I've spent some time sorting out all the different bits that are going to go on and come to something of a conclusion as to the ones I'm going to leave off for now. I've picked out the ones that I believe will have the least impact planting on now before I go ahead and get into the paint aspect of it. So the first thing is I've got these stabilizing fins here, and there are 4 of them, and they are going to go on like yo at various points. I believe I've got them on the right way. Actually, it's one of those things that I should probably double check before I get too committed to it, but I'm pretty sure that they go on like this. As a matter of fact, yes, I am sure I've got the image there. So those are going to go on now. There are the stabilizing fins that go on here, all around the edge here, and it's going to go on the other side of the ship too. But as I mentioned, for example, in some of the pictures you see, like this panel will be red, and these 2 panels, for example, might be dark gray, while the rest of them will be light gray. So I'm leaving all that off, and I'm just going to put these on because I can just give this a big shot at once when I paint it. So let's glue these bad boys down first. Do these one at a time. Shouldn't be too difficult. Of course, I've said that before. Just get a little bit of glue on either side. I should be able to chuck these straight in. Okay. It's funny too, I'm not really involved in any painting on the exterior here much at all, but I am already starting to get really worried about the eventual paint job. I mean, there are so many ways to make this kit look absolutely pimp and equally shit if I screw it up, and having no painting experience not really helping me. Doubling up with my general anal retentive nature to make everything perfect the first time through, and it's a recipe for disaster. Well, anyway, there are my 4 stabilization fins. Next, I've got these 2 little support struts, which are going to go in here and here, and they are going to flank the central vector fin here. Again, as you can see, these sit pretty flush with the rest of the ship, and according to the reference pictures, they don't differ in color from the rest of it. So I'm just going to slap these bad boys on. So this should be fairly straightforward as well. Dum 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 dum. Whatever. Alright, in you go. Bloop. There's a little bit excess glue. I've got to be more sparing with the glue. Well, it's a little tough. You can get a droplet on, which seems to not provide enough, or you can get a larger dab like that, which causes it to spray outwards when you push it into the recess. But, well, anyway, let's see how it works now. I'm probably being too liberal with the glue because it'll probably hold with far less than I assume it needs because I'm a jackass like that. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm going to do a quick pause to trim out some other pieces and then slap those on. Alright, so here's my first headache-inducing pain in the ass. This little armature thing needs to go in this hole here and then this hole here on the side. So, and I've been fiddling with this for a few moments before turning the camera back on, I need to get it in like yo. Which I made look very easy right there, but I'm guessing this is going to be a much bigger pain in the ass. The first thing, of course, is figuring out how to apply the glue so I'll have the best chance of getting it in straight. So I think what I'm going to do is to apply glue to my cocktail stick and put some glue into this hole, but then put the glue on the end of the piece here and hope that that does the trick. So here we go, and I've got to do this twice because there's another one on the other side. So let's see how this goes. Not going to do it without giving it a shot, so let's say, okay, that's a bit much glue, as I was mentioning before. Alright, well, anyway. Okay, I've got the glue applied. Now it's do or die time. There we go. In. Oh! Oh! Beautiful. Let's just give it a few moments. Oh, yeah. Well, thank hell for that. Alright, I got one more to do. Alright, here's the same bit on the other side. Here's the piece, and it goes in. Whoops, I'm bumping my camera around. Like yo. So again, I've got to be extra careful with how I apply the glue. And I've got to be careful with... okay, now I've glued my cocktail stick down to my surface here. How I apply the glue on both sides and hold it in the same place. I'm getting glue all over the place here out of frame. Beautiful. Okay, that's that. And okay, I've got my glue on the piece. No, 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 no. Oh, god damn it. Alright, here we go. There we go. Alright, I think I've got her done. Excellent. Ah, that was much less painful than I thought it would be. Alright, still some more details to glue on. Alright, the next pain in the ass. I've got two of these little bastards. I can't get a focus on it, but this piece of shit camera. Anyway, these, I got 2 of these, and they need to go in here. If they want to sit. Oh, I know. Well, here we go. Remember a few issues ago I couldn't get this motherfucker down? Well, now it's too high. And so it's going to interfere with fitting these bits on properly. Fuck you! So, well, here we go, right? I've got these 2 bits which need to sit here, which I can barely even sit in place. Well, it's going to sit like this, more or less. And then there's another tiny bit which is going to pop out here, and there is a Y-shaped... what the fuck, I can show you. There's... yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but anyway, this bit, which is going to sit out like this, propped up on all this crap. And I don't know how well this is going to work without this piece of shit sitting flush, and there is no way that I'm doing anything with this. I mean, it's been sitting for weeks now. Motherfucker. Well, I think what I have to do... I really just want to push the shit out of this thing. That's not going to accomplish anything. Fuck my ass. Alright, well... you know what? I don't know how well this is going to work, but I think that I might do something drastic. I think I'm going to take the file to this thing and just shrink it. Just file the shit out of it until it sits proper flush. Hang on. I'm going to reference the guide again. Yeah, that thing... this whole thing needs to be sitting much lower. Oh, you know what? I can push it down to get a little more space out of it. Yep, this is going to require a little bit of force. Huh. Oh, this is bad. Well, anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Fuck this shit. I'm going to stick some glue in there, and I'm just going to push this thing down to give myself a little bit more clearance, and then we're going to see how it works. Yeah, god damn it. Oh, I'm so upset right now. Alright. Well, whatever, man. Gotta make it happen. Let's get some glue. Get the fuck in there. Alright, and now we'll see how well this works, but... and I'm just hoping that it holds, because that's going to give me a little bit more clearance that I need to get these other plant-on pieces on. It's really starting to dig into my thumb here. Well, that kind of worked. Oh, shit, I moved the camera, sorry. Son of a fucking bitch. Nope, didn't really work. Wonder if I just get it glued on enough. Ah, I can't believe that shit. Isn't it just my luck? Isn't it just my luck? Oh man, this thing is sitting so high. Son of a bitch. And here I thought... Alright, I'm going to take a time out because I'm going to think about this. I am seriously contemplating actually yanking this whole section out somehow and sticking it back in. Ah! Remember this? Boop. Look what I did. How did you do that? With this? So it worked out better than I thought it would. I managed to drill this thing out, but now I have to affix it back on there, and as you can see, the lugs are totally shot, but I think that's a smaller issue. So now I'm going to dick around with this, file these down, and then figure out some different way. I think what I'm going to do is just affix it to the base here, with some glue straight along the edges here, and just glue it flat down. Drastic times call for drastic measures, but hey, we'll see how that works out. Alright, so I'm back in business, and as you can see, there's still a little gap in between this piece here and the rest of the hull, but I'm willing to live with it because there's really nothing to be done for it. But the upshot is that now this thing is sitting a lot more soundly, I guess, I don't know, than it was before. So now when I try to put these guys in place, if I don't drop them all over the goddamn place, when I try to sit these things in, they go as they're supposed to. Jesus, fuck you, man. So here, and that'll help cover up the gap in there as well, so that'll make life easier. So now I'm going to glue these puppies on presently. It was a considerable time lag in between when I started this video and did this next bit, because I had to wait for my drill to charge, because I do not have a plug-in drill. So yeah, I sat down and played some video games and waited for everything to charge up, and then I had, of course, the tension of potentially wrecking my entire model by taking a freaking cordless drill to it. But as we can see, it worked out okay. And I'm not upset about that, because actually now this thing is in better condition than it was before. Alright, so there are those two pieces. Now there are still a couple more that are going to go on to that same area, so stand by. Alright, there is now this little guy here, this little support strut thing, which is going to get glued on like yo. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to go. It's not going to go the other way around. Man, maybe I should double check the picture to make sure I got it stuck on the right way. Okay, the little arm bends inwards towards the ship. So yeah, like yo. And that's going to be important because there's one more piece that's going to go on top of it. But first, let me glue this bastard into place. Alright. Nah, you piece of shit. Fuck you. God damn it. Let's try this again. Get in there. There we go. Alright. Now, there is one more piece, which actually I'm going to leave in the sprue for now to keep it easier, but I showed you this before. This is actually going to sit right on top like this. I'm just going to slot in there, but obviously there's a decent amount of space that I want to have an even coat of paint on it, so I'm going to leave this one off, just like I left the other ones off. And, there's still plenty more tiny detail to go onto the ship. I think I'm only going to put on a couple more here. Well, it's going to be in a different part of the ship. Alright, I have misled you. I am not going to be applying the more parts here because, again, the spray from the base coat, which I eventually will put on, are going to go on parts that go here and sit here. Lots of details and more details here. You can see I've already put a tag on here. Hopefully it'll stay until I'm actually ready to put them on. But yeah, I want the paint job to look as nice as possible, so I'm going to leave those off now. I will have to spray those before I put them and glue them onto the final build. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's it for 56. What a fucking hassle. But yeah, onwards.